All right. Good morning. Yeah?
Yeah.
We're gonna be playing BN6. Any percent. Actually, this is EXE6. It's Japanese. Very different. Actually, there are minor differences, and I'll probably talk about those later. But we can probably just go straight into it. I have with me Ice Blue.
Hello. Good morning.
Ice knows everything about this game, so I'm glad that they're here for commentary.
I don't know anything.
We're just gonna go right into it, and we'll talk about stuff as we go through the tutorials and early scenarios. So 3, 2, 1, and go. So Battle Network 6, I'm gonna mash the select button to skip cutscenes and talk to everyone.
Button in this game?
Uh-huh.
What happened to the start button?
That's only in the first 3 games. In 4, 5, and 6, it's select, and you can't hold it, you have to mash it.
Oh, that's even worse. I'm definitely playing superior game next one.
So we're gonna do some tutorials with this dog. Now this dog is attacking a girl. So we're gonna start by jacking into the dog.
You can tell this girl is an important character. She actually has a different outfit on than the other NPCs.
The tutorial in this game is also a little bit different than most of the other Battle Network games, but the first 2 are identical. So we're gonna start by defeating 2 Metars with cannons. If Ice wants to talk about how battleships work.
Yeah, so each battleship, they have like an alphabetical code. And the idea behind like this entire like game is to like match up either like ABC or DEF, or if you want to match up like different types of chips, you could just match up everything that starts with like the same letter. But there's a lot of different combinations. There's program advances, things like that. But the idea is just to try and build a folder that just kind of like obliterates everything.
So we also have our Buster. Charge shots do 10 damage. Singular Buster shots do 1, and that'll change throughout the game. For the third tutorial here, though, it's a mechanic unique to the later 3 games in the series, and this is full synchro. So
this is too fancy for my taste. BN2 doesn't have this.
So while in full synchro, the next battleship used does double damage, and we can enter full synchro by counter hitting viruses and other navies. And there we go. So we have a couple things we just did there with a folder edit. I regged a battleship.
Yeah, regging a battleship basically makes you top deck it. Like, and by top decking, it means you draw it on the first turn.
Yep.
In the very first slot.
And there's some other quirks about the folder and how it is sorted. This is interesting. I need to get a reflect. All right. This door will not open unless I get a reflect 1 drop. It's very, very likely to get an encounter with only Metar. As such. This should be a 10 rank. Alright. Unfortunate, but I'll probably get more Metar encounters here. I would like a Reflect 1A, which is a 50% drop out of 10. Busting rank is pretty generous in this game. Cool. Maybe I'll get lucky.
Yeah, so the busting rink actually has a lot of different factors here. Wow, a lot of different factors here. Like your busting rink is determined like on how many like tiles you move in the battle. If you you know, if you get hit, if you double delete, triple delete, things like that. The shock factor I had when I discovered and found out that your busting rank is based off of how many like movement spaces you do. I was like, what?
Yep. We're not quite done with tutorials. We have a couple more fights. We're at school now. This is Land's new school. Because he just moved cities. We skipped all the cutscenes explaining that. This is the only game that does not take place in AC/DC Town. We're actually in Central.
I love the guy that's in like a tracksuit in the middle of a science lab.
Yeah, he's our homeroom teacher, Mr. Mock.
And there's a kid with a bucket on his head.
Yeah, he's being punished. I don't know what he did. I don't remember. So as typical fashion, we need to talk to everyone in the room. I'm also going to be grabbing a reg up here. We need to hit 12 reg memory. We start with 4. And that's for a very specific battle chip that we want to register in the mid-game. This is fine. Oops. That's fine. Ideally, you draw a sword there. It just makes the fight a little bit faster, but... And there's a very small chance to get an encounter here. Cool. 700 Zenny, very important for early game money. We need 1500 by the time we're done with this first scenario in order to buy sneak runs.
Sneak runs are a very big part of the speedrun of all, well, everything except for 1.
And 3.
Yeah, because you just use the program. But yeah, so the game actually has like an eternal level up for like Mega Man. So like when you collect HP memories, and you do other like things that just power up like Mega Man as his NPC. Sneak runs will basically like allow you to just completely avoid encounters for, I think it's like up to like 100 and some steps or something like that.
Yeah. And in Battle Network 6, it's based purely on your HP. And we only ever get 1 HP memory intentionally. The others are just kind of forced on us. And we end up with 160 base HP. But
I was gonna say, it's a lot less than BN2, because BN2 we end with 420.
Because we have the Navi customizer later on, and we'll be showing like how that all works. But generally speaking, the HP values that you need to sneak run in Battle Network 6 are so high that getting the amount of HP memories you'd need to actually sneak run in every area would be slower than just taking encounters. So we only really care about getting enough to sneak run in Central area, which is that first part of the game. That was like a frame early. So I'm moving specifically through the Robo Control comp to hopefully skip most encounters, because encounters cannot happen while the firewall that you're seeing is active. I'm gonna go for Reflect 1A. Nope.
Nope.
That's fine. It's not really necessary, but it is nice to have. That is our HP memory. That is the one that I pick up. The story forces a couple on you, otherwise.
Yeah, that one is not necessary. That one's just kind of nice.
We're gonna, yeah. Okay, that was a 75% chance to run away with the HP value that I have, but I got it. So we are through Robo Control 2. If everything goes correctly, I should never see an encounter, because the routing in this area is very, very specific to constantly be hitting these firewalls. Encounters are based on how many steps Mega Man takes. So after a certain amount of steps, you have different encounter rates. The longer you walk, the higher the encounter rate. And that is slightly modified. If you're holding the B button, your step count is actually doubled. So holding the B button while moving will increase your encounter rate effectively. And note that I said holding the B button and not running.
Typical RPG fashion.
It's very important to make that distinction between running and holding the B button. And that'll come into play much later. So there is one more Mr. Prog I have to save, and then we'll be fighting our first boss, Blast Man.
Don't worry, the HP value was fine.
You can't die outside of battle, so it doesn't... Even if you have like bad movement, it will never really be an issue. There's a small chance at a single encounter here, but I could just get lucky. I'll do that and that. Reflect C is not really what I want, but we'll make do with it.
No.
So, as typical RPGs go, running away from battles isn't guaranteed. But this is Blast Man.
I'm assuming this one's like the other ones where the chance of like running from battles goes up as you fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gets up to as high as 93% on the third runaway and then 0% on the fourth. Because it resets. Interesting. I would like to get a counter hit on Blast Man here, but that's fine. Blast Man's being a little rude, as he does. Well, if he comes to the front, this is great.
There we go.
Thanks, Blast Man. So that was our first scenario, our first actual boss fight. We have a little bit more walking around to do. We're going to be going to our second scenario, not for actually a little bit. We have a good chunk of RNG in this next segment. Just like we needed Reflect 1A at the beginning, we need one more battle chip just for progress. And that one is called Train Arrow.
Ah, I've seen many of runs perish to not getting Train Arrow.
Train Arrow is a approximately 45% chance of getting it. But there are backups for if we don't. I was tempted to do this fight, but I'll just leave. I'll end up just taking out the reflects anyway. So this is why I needed the 700 Zenny from the school comp earlier. Because we got 1,000 off Blast Man for a total of 1,700 to buy 3 whole sneak runs for 500 apiece.
The economy got hit hard. Sneak runs used to be 200 zennies. Now they're 500.
Yeah, so that little hidden item on that tile there just opened the door. That was hidden by one of our classmates. He just locked off part of the internet. This is typical Battle Network things. 10-year-olds are able to just completely lock off sections of the internet to the rest of the population.
That, and, you know, the antagonist here is attacking like major schools and lighting kids on fire and like Jesus.
Oh, so that was our dad going to the principal's office. I skipped the rest of it. And now there's a penguin in the classroom. So this penguin ended up in this, not in the school, but just followed Mick. And we need to figure out why. Or rather, get the penguin to leave Mick alone. The penguin's hungry.
That's a mood.
So what do penguins want to eat? What's your best guess?
I'm gonna say steak.
Okay. Maybe this guy has steak.
You will never know because it's in Japanese.
This guy says his grandpa's outside and he has food that a penguin might like in his cooler. But as a quick detour, I'm gonna grab a reg up 2 here. Optimally, you can actually skip this reg up. You just have to get lucky and top deck copy damage later.
Yeah.
And it saves like 2 seconds.
That's the same thing with 2. You just get lucky and top deck Prism.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to be putting in the effort to always have copy damage. So this old man has a virus in his cooler, and we need to delete the virus. Because his cooler is also connected to the internet.
Future's weird.
There we go. It's a little bit nicer if that piranha virus goes down. Also, that piranha virus is what I need to see as a random encounter coming up shortly. I need to get the battle chip from that exact virus. And even at an S rank, it is 50%. And the other 50% is money.
Getting some real big BN1 vibes here.
And
S rank a Navi encounter and it's not guaranteed to drop their chip.
And some of the encounters that have the piranhas also have other viruses, so you might get their drops. But
yeah, that's typical BN fashion. They're like, oh, you need this for story progression? Let's throw in 2 other enemies into it.
But yeah, for now, we need to basically go to the seaside area to figure out why this penguin is in Central and not at the zoo. Or aquarium, I guess.
He was hungry.
Yeah, he broke out of the aquarium. I'm just talking to this guy real quick. I don't remember what he says. It's not important.
He said that you're gonna get Train Arrow on the second encounter.
The second encounter?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately over here, the entrance to Seaside is blocked by a puddle.
Oh no.
So we need a plumber. Luckily,
can't just walk over the water. Oh no.
Luckily, this guy that we talked to over here is a digital internet plumber. But he left his tools at the last job he was at. So we need to go get his tools.
Just want to let you know, Phantom, your internet's leaking.
And the last job he was at was here, so we're gonna jack into the toilet.
Well, you're gonna do what now?
We're gonna delete the viruses in the toilet.
What, what kind of viruses are in your toilet?
You know. Unfortunately, my draw wasn't very good. It'll work out, but the pain of not having an A-coded reflect.
So we're jacking into the toilet so you can delete viruses in your toilet. What kind of... Where did you go to dinner last night?
It's fine, Mom was watching the entire time.
Must have been Chipotle.
So we're gonna make our way back to the seaside area. We have the plumber's tools. Seaside areas where we will hopefully encounter some piranha viruses. To get our train arrow drop. And if we don't get it there, there is a backup where the piranha encounter is actually guaranteed. But no matter what, the chip drop is still going to be a 50% chance. There are a couple other things I could get here. I could get a sortie encounter and get a longsword S, which would be pretty good, but not required for progression. Chances I see that are almost none.
All right. What's the game say?
Nope.
Nope.
But I have counter hit going into hopefully the next fight. Nice.
Was that reflect A?
Yep.
It's a little too late.
I mean, I'll put it in over reflect C. It's still better than that, but can I get a piranha? That's a piranha encounter.
With, like, not the greatest draw.
This is fine.
All right, here we go.
All right. Train arrow A and a mega energy bomb.
Yeah?
All right.
What did I say earlier? Second encounter? Damn, I'm good.
Yeah, so I didn't destroy that BGMD. It's typically faster to destroy them so you don't get the drop, but I knew that there were a couple things you could get there, including Air Spin 1 and Mega Energy Bomb, both of which are pretty good. The other chances were like Zenny and Bug Frags, which would have been nothing. But
why does that kid look like he's seen some things?
He's the school bully.
He has like a cross cut on his cheek, like he was just in like a Japanese war or something.
We don't know where he lives. I don't think he lives in any of the houses in town. He just kind of goes to school. But yeah, this is the aquarium. It's closed today. I think it's a Sunday or something. But it'll be open tomorrow. So we're going to come back tomorrow.
The whale is larger than the whole place.
We're also going to be getting our tutorial here for the Navi Customizer.
By the way, this is what the future looks like, y'all. Flying train cars and jacking into the internet.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty convenient. You just get on the bus and it just flies you over all the traffic.
Until you run into air traffic.
What's air traffic?
Well, not everyone's going to be living in a town like this, where there's like a population of like 6 people.
There's like 5 houses or something. You can only go into this one.
Oh, good. They introduced, you know, not breaking and entering into other people's homes.
You can't even enter the towns in AC/DC. Spoilers, you go back to AC/DC. Yeah, this is the...
Not even Dex's?
No.
Wow.
Dex's house does have an HP memory on the door. But yeah, this is the Navi customizer. We're going to be using this a lot. We're actually going to be kind of cheating in how we use it, but it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the Navi customizer was introduced into the game in 3, which basically you have to like put program lines, like put programs on the line. Solid colored like programs have to go on like the little double line, whereas like the squared off like Tetris block looking ones have to go off of the line. And those would typically be like stats, like attack +1, charge 1, HP plus like 500 or whatever, and then like actual programs will be like the solid colored ones.
Yeah, we're not going to be getting a ton of them, but we're going to be getting a few that are very important. And this is our aquarium trip. So first thing you do at the aquarium, you go see all of the exhibits. Except the jellyfish. You ignore the jellyfish. They don't matter. I like that fish. Also, that kid with the pink shirt there, his name is actually Dolphin. There's a side quest that involves helping him. And the Beast SP run actually does that side quest. Hey, it's penguins.
Penguins have some very long necks.
So
we must be in Florida. There's gators here.
So in the future where everything is controlled by the internet, I'm going to pick up this reg up from the trash can first. And clearly no one would ever do anything with any of these cages that are controlled electronically through, you know, the internet.
No.
Oh, that pirate guy has a hook on his hand. Anyway. We're just gonna try to leave because we're done for the day. We brought the penguin back. It's all... We're done here. And something happened. I think all of the animals are out. There's some sharks. I don't know how they got into the water outside of the aquarium.
The random turtle there, just hanging out.
And there's a penguin.
We should have named the other penguin.
Yeah.
It's little Billy.
This is a trick called penguin skip. Let's see if I get it. I got it. That penguin has a pretty big collider.
It's pixel perfect.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the walrus? Sea lion? I don't know what he is. I think it's a walrus, right?
Looks like a walrus.
His toy ball is in the pool. It's sunk to the bottom. I don't know how the inflatable ball sunk to the bottom of the pool. I think it's made of lead.
It's weighted.
But the pool's also filled with jellyfish, so land can't go inside of it.
He was strength training with his nose. So he got it weighted.
So just like earlier, we're gonna use Mega Man here with this copy bot. No one has ever made the mistake of skipping this cutscene and then just walking back in his land.
Speaking from experience, I see.
Literally no one's made that mistake.
Definitely speaking from experience.
Yeah. I've never done it.
Yet.
So we're gonna take our robot and put him in the pool. Because he's able to go underwater past the jellyfish, no problem. And grab this lead ball for the walrus.
The non-moving jellyfish.
Yeah. They're fine. And this is the Aqua Rum comps.
Get ready to cat jam, by the way.
So, do you want to give a shot at explaining L button strats.
Sure. Am I supposed to know what L button strats are?
You should have an idea based on what I'm doing here.
I'm assuming that's how you check lands, like the status of land there.
Because land is supposed to go around the aquarium to look at the exhibits and find out where these progs are supposed to be placed.
Okay, so I'm assuming whenever you do that, it resets the encounter.
Yep.
Okay. See, we don't have anything fancy like that in 2.
So yeah, every time that I switch from Mega Man to LAN, our step counter is reset to 0, and as I said kind of earlier, the encounter rate is based on how many steps you have taken in the internet or computer. So
look, I've run this game before. Like, I knew exactly what they were talking about.
So by constantly resetting our step count to 0, we will never see encounters in the aquarium, which is pretty handy. You get to just enjoy the music as I constantly switch back and forth between the panic music and...
You do have to be careful in this comp. We're gonna be kind of like routing like specifically around these sharks. If we get touched by the shark, it scares the prog back to its original spawn point.
The sharks will eat the fish, so to speak. But otherwise, there's not a whole lot going on in this area. We're just kind of like moving around. There's some kind of specific movement in some areas to bait the sharks to go a certain way. The red sharks will always follow a specific path. The blue sharks will try and home in on Mega Man. So we're gonna use that to our advantage to try and force them to go a certain way. Say like by slowing down here, baits that shark, and also just waits out the red one. And coming down and around here. Also, this is important, kind of. That BMD right there is a reg up. There have been people that have forgotten to get the reg up from the trash can, and this is the backup, is that one right there. But we should have enough reg memory for copy damage coming up in the next scenario. Some viruses that you can see in this comp would be the piranhas. So it's not a terrible idea to, if you say didn't get train arrow earlier, to just take encounters here and try and get it. It's an option available. It's not the most consistent option, but it's something you can try and do.
But you're just better and got train arrow early.
Yeah, but just that's how it works. You see, there's our boss gate there.
Gildift the game.
Since we're in an aquarium, and the bad guy is some pirate with an anchor for a hand, what do you think the boss is going to be? What classic Mega Man Robot Master is reimagined as a Navi?
I'm gonna say Guts Man. I'm just kidding. Look, any reason to bully Dex is a good enough reason for me. Dex is like a classic character in the BN series.
Yeah,
who's just known for getting his Navi deleted in seconds.
It's a shame that after BN4 you stop actually having Gutsman in the story. Like, he doesn't show up in BN5 because they all get stolen. like
I mean, if I was getting deleted every game of the series, I'd probably stop showing up too.
and then move away so you never see Dex the entire game. That's not the right one. I was getting ahead of myself.
Wow, you're trying to get out of this area that quickly? You mean to tell me you don't like this song?
I've heard this song before a few times.
Come on, it's a
yeah. So this is our encounter with Dive Man, the submarine. Classic. Sure, let's do that. Dive Man will move 2 tiles, and then he will move in such a way that I can hopefully counter hit. Nope. Oh, unfortunate. Mini bombs can hit Dive Man while he's submerged. This is potentially good. Yeah, stay in the back.
Train arrow is so good.
Train arrow is pretty good, yeah. Notably, I will really want to draw it in my next boss fight.
All right, goodbye, dive comp.
Well, yeah, we're almost done with the aquarium. We just need to go arrest the villain who is holding the chairman of the aquarium or something hostage. I don't know what he's doing. It's fine. Oh, it's Mick. That's right. Anyway, we saved Mick.
Right. So the screen blacks out there. What you don't get to see is Land does like a triple axle like back kick, and like kicks this like old guy in the head and like knocks him unconscious before the police show up.
Yeah, yeah. Back in school, we have a new teacher, and we're gonna be talking to him shortly. But first, we need to like get some introductions out of the way, back and forth. Avoid those kids that are in front of the billboard. So Mr. Mock says that I think he says like you left something in the classroom. I don't remember, but we need to go back to the classroom anyway. And we're gonna meet up with Iris really quick, who we met earlier on in the tutorial.
See, I told you she was important. She's wearing a different outfit.
So Mega Man, is it X? I think it's X, right? That has Iris. I forget which one.
I thought that was, isn't it 0?
Is it not until 0? When is Colonel?
0. I'm
okay.
Sure.
Yeah, here's our teacher, Mr. Match.
The teacher now, huh?
Yeah.
This guy's a jack of all trades.
Just gonna check our folder really quick. There we go. And buy 4 sneak runs. And this is the Heatman scenario. We need to destroy these kettles. And it's very precise, because the only fire chips can damage the kettles. We need to do 100 damage to them. And the only chip that we have that's fire is Heatman's signature chip, which does 70 damage. You can see the potential conundrum there of needing to do 100 and only having one chip that doesn't do 100.
Well, just counter hit.
So we need to get counter hits on every single one of these kettle viruses. luckily, we have a pretty good setup for most of them. With Crackshot, which was one of our starting chips.
That is a very interesting name for a chip.
Crackshot is a star element chip that does 60 damage and has a reg memory size of 4. So you can reg it from the very beginning. And the entire reason that we really needed to counter hit all of these along the way, and also pick up this copy damage, is for this fight right here.
Wasn't there like 2 like offset kettles or whatever?
Because heat press hits in a cross pattern, and that will not hit all of them. That is the entire reason we even need copy damage. It's still a useful chip regardless. Like, don't get me wrong. It's still a very good chip. Sure.
Good old Mega Man games. You have to fight Mr. Match.
What do you mean? He's just our teacher.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
That is definitely a draw there.
Oh, he's doing this move. Okay, fine. Can you come to the front again? No? Unfortunate draw. So when I said I wanted Train Arrow earlier, this is kind of why.
Yeah.
Alright, fine, Heat Man. And there we go. That's a pretty typical Heat Man fight.
Unfortunate draw.
Yeah, not top decking Train Arrow is just sometimes it happens. Sometimes you top deck Train Arrow and save a lot of time. But now we have Heat Cross. In typical Mega Man fashion, defeating certain bosses or enemies gets you access to their powers. And Heat Cross is incredibly powerful. While Heat Cross is active, our Buster damage is actually max. And the Heat Cross Buster is a 3-column long fire attack that does a large amount of damage.
Yeah, as you can see, like it just did like what? It was like 100 or like 70 damage there.
Yeah. We'll be using that a lot. There's a lot of grass viruses especially that we'll be encountering later. But now that we got this cool new power, we're going to do this next scenario where we don't actually get to fight for the next 15 minutes.
A love story.
We're going to get all of these upgrades from Mega Man right now, and we're not going to be fighting with Mega Man until the boss fight of this scenario. Who you did catch a glimpse of just now, his name is Circus Man. And this is the Lotto trading machine. So we're going to be entering some codes here. Oh my god.
What you're saying is you cheat.
No. This is all part of the game. And if you want to talk about what any of these chips are, you probably know some of them.
I know that one. That one's from the boomer viruses, except it's different in this game. Doesn't it put like actual grass tiles down when you use it?
Yes, it does. 8, 7, 4, 1. No, 8749780. Yeah, okay. Looking at the wrong line of my notes. Grab some Navi customizer programs.
I know the second one you got, like you throw it out and it does like damage all around it a few times.
Yeah, air spin. So I picked up 3 Navi customizer programs and 3 battle chips. The 3 battle chips I picked up are Hackjack Star, Airspin O, and M Boomer M. And the 3 Navi customizer programs I picked up are HP plus 400, HP plus 500, and Buster Pack.
Yeah, the big thing about the Boomer chip is that it's gonna go like hand in hand with our lovely Heatman synchro.
Forgot to do one thing.
Yeah, you gotta read your crack shot.
Yep. Because I do not need copy damage at the moment. Crack shot is actually a little bit better for some consistent setups that we'll be doing with Heatman. Because Mega Man is gonna have some issues shortly.
Ill issues?
Well, you see over here, there's this dog. Look at that dog.
That dog looks kind of important.
Looks kind of familiar, I think. That is the Psy Beast Gregar, who is a big dog that was brought to life through bug frags and viruses and stuff. I'm sure there's nothing like that.
I was gonna make a joke and say that was the same dog we jacked into at the beginning of the game, just powered up, but I'd be lying.
So we have this. This is the gimmick of BN6. This is evil spirits. So we have this puzzle scenario. Encounters are actually turned off during this, so I don't need to do any sneak running. But I do need to use my resources in the right side of the screen to delete all of the evil spirits.
Yeah, so each one has like a different like range of attack. Red spirits die in 1 hit, yellow spirits are 2 hits, and then I think blue spirits are 3.
Yep. The exception being if you hit them in the back, they die instantly.
Yep.
And then for every
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
And if you what was it? If you have extras left over after clearing all of them, they get turned into bug frags, which is not useful for us, but that's what the extra text box is. Otherwise, this is all like fairly pre-planned out. There's no RNG. It's just menuing and knowing where to go.
Yeah, and like the whole like premise behind this is like if you were to say like attack like one of the spirits like while you're next to it and it doesn't take it out, it does deal damage to you in like the next, I guess, quote turn.
Yeah. Thankfully that's slow.
Like, yeah. You have to be on like an adjacent tile.
So one more of these in Central Area 3. And then we'll get the dog.
What the dog doing though?
Just screaming.
Oh, okay. Same.
Just like, yeah, dog is off in the corner yelling about something. I don't know what's going on. Just typical things. Kind of worth mentioning, I can mention it now. The HP plus 400 that I put in the Navi Customizer does not actually affect sneak run rates at all. Sneak run rates are only based on your base HP without Navi Customizer upgrades. So it's still effectively a 120 runaway rate. And not actually using the 520 that we have. He wants water. And what we're gonna do here, as Mega Man does, he absorbs the power of robot masters and other Navis. He's gonna just put the dog inside of him. And now he's sick.
So that's what the dog doing.
Yeah, Mega Man can't handle the dog, and he's just knocked unconscious. So we need to go grab our good friend Heat Man to do the rest of the scenario for us. Thankfully, we just learned that we can control other Navis. There are a total of 5 you can get, but we will not be getting anything besides Heat Man. It's a shame because Heat Man is also kind of one of the worst ones. His charged Buster Shot does not hit the back column. It is a T-shaped attack that hits 1 in front and then the entire column 2 away. But that's fine. Heat Man is very reliant on battle chips. And coming up at the end of this room, if you didn't have Train Arrow, you would actually just be hard locked. You would have to just run around as Heat Man in here until you killed piranhas and got Train Arrow somehow as Heat Man with significantly worse busting capabilities than what Mega Man can do. But I don't know, we don't have a whole lot left here in Seaside. What's your favorite virus?
My favorite virus?
Sure.
That's a good question. Are we like exclusively trying to stick to 6 or?
I mean, 6 has most of them anyway.
That's a never actually like thought about it like that.
Like, what one's to 6? 6 doesn't have fishies, so there's no like dash chip.
I mean, dash chip got like Omega nerfed in the later games anyways. Huh.
Also, if you don't have $100 for this cube, you need to farm money.
Damn. EA make this game?
Yeah, just randomly there's a cube there that costs $100 to open.
Now I'm gonna be sitting here thinking like, what's my favorite virus here? Jesus.
I mean, there's so many. I'm sure it's the meteor enemy, right? Definitely that
one. God. Don't insult me like this.
Yeah, well, you're thinking this this gate here is a virus gauntlet of 3 fights. And again, Heat Man is not very well prepared for really anything. So we're going to be trying to get as many counter hits as we can. Sure. Not bad. Do I get copy damage? No, unfortunate. There we go.
Didn't need it.
Yeah, having a full synchro with Heatman is very, very good because he just does not have a lot of damage. We don't have a lot of like incredible chips. Gotta make do with what we can get. This is kind of just forcing you to do this in a specific way because these evil spirits are blue, so they take a lot of hits if you didn't do it this way. And we're also trying to not take the hits from the evil spirits. And this is like, this wall up here can be pretty intimidating to look at because there's a few.
There's a couple.
But it's also like not really that complicated when you have the axe and they're kind of just lined up for you.
I can tell you my least favorite virus in the entire series.
Okay.
The Ratty series.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Rush.
Damn. The moles?
Yeah.
No. Ratties are god. If there was anything I can Omega delete with like a base chip, it'd be Ratties.
This is a Heatman moment of all time. There we go. And there's Circus Man being a problem. But we got the heal water from this water source. And we're going to go give the heal water to Mega Man. And that's going to cure him of his, I don't know, whatever the dog did to him. Shadow.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with Rish there.
Yeah.
The shadows. The only virus in the entire game that can only be deleted by swords.
Yep. Notably, that is a reason that we are playing in Japanese. The encounter rate for shadows and nightmares in this game in particular, in English, is significantly higher in one of the later comps. And by the point we actually encounter them, we've removed all swords from our folder. So you just have to run away with your very low run rate.
By the way, this form of Mega Man is actually really sick.
Yeah, so this is Mega Man's Beast Out. And it's very strong. Beast Out G-Beast Mega Man has super armor on everything. He has claw attacks that do massive damage. And we're not going to use it right now. We're going to be fighting Circus Man up here. And Beast Out, while it can work, it's not as efficient as another power that we have. I.e. Heat Cross. And you will see eventually in an hour and a half the combination of the two. Because you can use both powers at the same time.
But and first we have to beat up a clown.
Yeah. No one ever dies to Circus Man.
Is this like the helmet head?
Yeah.
Zelda 2.
You did probably notice, if you were looking in the top left corner, my health is constantly draining. We didn't really talk about the Navi Customizer edit that I did. The HP plus 400 that I placed is actually not on the grid at all. It's kind of just outside of the program area. But all that does is it gives us the 400 HP, but then creates a bug where every frame you lose 1 HP. Which you'd think is kind of scary. But you just win fights fast enough, it never matters. But that's also the little flashing on Mega Man's icon there, is that he is bugged because Lan is a bad programmer.
He's 10 or something.
Yeah, that doesn't excuse him being a bad programmer when his dad and grandpa are who they are.
He's spoiled.
So this is part of the overall story arc of the becoming basically the figurehead Navi, or like, I forget what it's exactly called. But the Navi that is the tour guide for the facility that's being built in town. And Lan and Mega Man want to like be the super important Navi and operator pair. Pretty typical.
You know, it wasn't enough that Lan has saved the world 5 different times. You know, he's not super important. He's only saved the world 5 times in the series. But
yeah, we need to talk to these Navis as they're hidden. They give us clues as to where the next one is. Very kind of just running around the entire world. You're supposed to be able to figure out from their clues. I don't think all of their clues are super obvious. This is the fish sticks comp.
Sticks comp.
This is actually where the only encounter here are piranha encounters. And I do actually really want this unlocker. There's exactly 1 purple mystery data that I need to pick up, and the unlocker there is incredibly convenient for doing exactly that. Yeah, this current scenario is also pretty, a lot of just walking around. Just a lot of story progress. We'll be shortly visiting the justice system for
Law and Order
for this world. I need to inspect that crawfish.
Crawfish.
In order to be able to notice that the camera is pointed at it as part of this contest. And they are hidden in the camera. And they give us 20 HP. As well as a folder that I will be stealing battle chips out of. Before I move on to green area really quick, I need to do this quiz. I don't know what the questions are, so I can't really tell you.
Well, the answer for that one was 36.
Yeah. That gives us a key item that will let us do another quiz later. That's all that you really need to know about that right now. The second quiz is the one that actually matters. That one is just opens up the first or the next one. I thought he was in the door. But yeah,
Man, go to the next area. Come on.
This is Greentown. There's a lot of trees. And they hollowed them out for bus stations.
It's not really green then. it's like it defeats the whole purpose.
So we're gonna go into the courthouse computer system, and I'm gonna take this purple mystery data, which is a black bomb F. Black bomb is a 250 damage battle chip that is detonated by lighting it on fire.
And what kind of synchro do we have? Fire.
So I'm gonna do some folder edits here. I actually don't really want this anymore. Let's rip out Mock Gun. Goodbye, Mock Gun. Okay, it should be good. No, that's correct. That's what I forgot. Copy damage. This is the last folder edit, so I'm done messing with all that stuff now. If you want to talk about the sorting order really quick. We talked about reg, but like the order of the chips at the top also kind of matters.
Oh, is it like that in this one too?
It's slightly different, but it's effectively the same thing.
Is it still 2 through 5?
It's 1 through 4.
Oh, what the? So yeah, the way that this game draws, or like the Battle Network series in general draws, like how it determines like what your first draw is on like the start of a turn, is pretty much it's determined by like how the order of your chips are in the folder. So we specifically put like certain chips at the very top of the folder because it has a much higher chance of them being drawn on the first turn. We'll be using a lot of terms like top decking or bottom decking. Bottom decking just means that we just got scammed. And, you know, we drew it on like turn 6.
Yeah, so I'm just running through green area to get basically a security ID to be let into the courthouse.
Who just leaves their security ID on the floor?
Oh no, we didn't. We talked to the guy at the coffee stand for it. We get it from Starbucks.
Even to the guy at Starbucks too. Hey, look, cop. Reflect.
Yeah, reflect 2B. So, if I get no encounters here, that's cool. It's probably not going to happen. Okay. It's fine. It's normal. So, as you can see, heat cross is pretty strong.
Just a little bit.
Pretty useful.
Yeah, Rish is like the well of knowledge on Battle Network games. I'm just here for moral support.
So
and making fun of that guy's jawline.
As you do when you enter a new room, you talk to everyone in the room. Except that that robot over there, that's not a person. And then we watch the trial where the tree AI determines the fate of the accused.
He did it.
And we go home.
He did, but he did it.
You know, as you do in the future, there is no jury. It is AI programmed by the prosecutor himself.
It like I said, it don't matter. You did it.
Just how it is in the future. So nothing's gonna happen. We're just gonna go home and go to bed. And then weird music at school. Not sure what's happening.
Music playing?
Yeah.
I can't tell. I'm muted.
It's the panic music. Well, not really quite the panic music, but like the So like something's weird is happening.
It's not as good of panic music as BN2, where it actually has lyrics to it.
And then we talked to mom, and she says dad's been arrested for hacking into the judge tree. That sounds like something he would do.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to his hearing.
Those damn Hikaris.
I like how there's all these NPCs in this area that we just never talk to.
There's NPCs?
Yeah. Gonna go in. The judge tree, as its own witness, says yes, he did it. And we're gonna talk to the prosecutor for 40-something text boxes.
Oh my god.
I guess we didn't say how mashing works in this game. I'm holding B and mashing A for optimal text advancement. Holding B fills up the text box faster, and A advances the text box.
Yeah, rather than just mashing the A button, that would require you to mash it. Press it like twice as many times, because you would have to press it A to fill the text box, and then B to advance it. Whereas like holding the B button while doing it, automatically it like fills up the text box.
Yeah, so the prosecutor said that if we can prove our dad is innocent, he will listen. So we're just gonna go try and prove that. We know that he was at school yesterday, so we're gonna talk to our teacher and say, my dad has been sentenced to some kind of torture, electrocution. I don't remember exactly what it is. I think he's gonna get shocked by the police robots like 1,000 times or something. But we need to prove that he's innocent.
That's a pretty drastic punishment. Jesus.
Security camera footage should show that dad was in the classroom. So we're gonna check the security camera. And there's a virus in the security camera. Who would do such a thing? Oh. I want this one. First instance of our beast out here. As you can see, fairly strong. With the null element chips, I can charge them with the A button, and then Mega Man will teleport to do 2 claw attacks for a total of 140 damage? I don't know, it's a lot. That's all that really matters. It's a lot of damage, and it scales based off of your Buster damage output, which is an attack of 4 right now because of the Buster Pack that is equipped in the Navi Customizer. So the security camera footage was wiped out, but that robot in the closet also has footage. So we're gonna go over here and grab the robot's footage from the main server and prove that dad is innocent. Except I'm skipping the cutscene that shows the actual footage of him being in the classroom.
I thought you were gonna say in the closet.
And then we go back to the judge tree. And if all of this wasn't far-fetched enough, we have a very big moment coming up here in a second. The biggest, like, most out of this world, I guess, crazy thing to happen is we're gonna go over here and talk to this guy outside the courtroom. And Lana's gonna say, my dad is innocent, I have proof, I'm 10 years old. And he's gonna say, I believe you. He's back there in the prison cell, being tortured by those robots. And oh no, Prosecutor Ito was a bad guy. And now
people any type of job nowadays, huh?
He has unleashed all of the security robots across the entire city to arrest literally everyone.
Do they not do any like type of like background checks on these people?
So that security door was locked. I need a passcode to get in. And in order to find out the passcode, I'm going to talk to this guy. He's just giving us the number or index of a law or something. So the password is 153.
Not that pretty password.
You could have guessed that eventually, I'm sure. You brute forced it.
Or maybe they could have put like some kind of like fail-safe defensive thing there where you know, if you get it wrong, it like zaps you or something.
All right, so this is the judge tree. If you touch the grass, you will get sent to jail, and they will do 100 damage to you for every tile of grass you touch. So we're gonna try and not ever go back on the grass that we spawn.
You heard it here first. Touching grass gets you sent to jail. So don't do it.
Yep.
Except for this grass. You can touch this grass.
I was thinking a little bit hard on this one because I was like, oh, can I do this with a battle chip? Like, no, it's not quite lined up well enough. But yeah, the grass tiles double the damage of fire attacks, and the wood viruses take double damage from fire attacks. So the heat cross buster does quadruple damage to them. And they probably would have died without that multiplier, but
God,
it's fine.
Demolish that corn looking.
There's an emote on FFZ for the corn popper here called Cobb Champ.
God, I hate it.
It's a pretty popular one.
It would have only been better if you would have stayed on the grass tile, because you would have hit him for 1,000 damage with that black bomb.
There we go. As you can see, air spin's pretty strong also.
Yeah. It's an understatement.
I think this is an HP memory or a reg up. I don't care.
But it's shiny.
Casual BN players in shambles. Oh no, this is the reg up. Yeah, that was the HP memory.
It's shiny. What in the hell is that thing?
Oops. Well, I don't know why the boomer didn't hit that thing, but that's fine. He'll move to the front again. He must have like just barely dodged out of the way. Classic. And I will be saving up here for a very minor skip. But it's so cool. I will be picking up this. This is an expand memory for a Navi customizer.
So what's the name of this skip called?
It's Celine Dion skip.
Sure.
Yeah. Don't question it. It's not too difficult, but if you obviously fail it, it's pretty annoying. Because I'm stepping on the grass panel to trigger the gavel, and I outrun the gavel to get to Judge Man. Oh, there's Colonel. Anyway. Ignore Colonel. Judge Man makes panels yellow occasionally. That's about all he really does.
Yeah, so do you.
And there's Judge Man.
just to show you how strong that attack is. You don't even need battle chips. Just insert fire.
Yeah. Judge Man has a very predictable pattern. He will teleport around, move a couple times, make a few panels yellow, and then get hit by the heat buster.
Deserved.
So we're gonna take a quick detour here. We're supposed to go to Skytown. I'm gonna go to Seaside. I mentioned a quiz that we did earlier to unlock another quiz for later, and I'm gonna go do that quiz now. This is 10 questions. We're gonna get a very specific reward that makes this game so fast and pretty significantly different from every other Battle Network game, just in terms of movement. I feel like, you know, in every other Battle Network game, you just kind of like run around. But we're gonna do something a little bit fancier. After I answer 10 questions.
The answer's B.
30. So he gave me a Navi customizer program. I'm gonna put that in right now. This Navi customizer program is called Slip Run. Obviously with LAN, it doesn't do anything. It'd be really funny if it did. It wouldn't really make sense, but it'd be really funny. The first thing that Slip Run does is when Mega Man is walking around in the computer systems, he actually has run speed without holding B, which is important for encounter rates because holding B is what actually modifies the encounter rate, not the running itself. So now Mega Man runs faster without increasing his encounter rate. However, it also makes the B button do something else. And you're going to see that in a second here when I jack into the shower head.
You're going to do what now?
I'm going to jack into this shower head.
Okay, just making sure. First the toilet, now the shower head.
Yep. So this is Slip Run. By pressing B in a direction, Mega Man slides across the screen until he hits a wall.
And I think that doesn't like it doesn't even increase your step counter when he does that, right? Just by I think just by 1.
Yeah. Effectively, we're just going to be moving as quickly as possible and getting very, very few encounters for the rest of the game.
Begin 2 runners in shambles.
There are some spots where we will probably still get encounters, but we will be able to avoid most of them. Just from some very fast movement. And this is this segment is very difficult. Where we are going to be doing a series of gauntlet fights. This is a pretty typical Battle Network trope, I guess, of just fight after fight after fight. And see where they go. Ideally, we do as many of these as possible without ever using Heat Cross or Beast Out, just because those animations are kind of slow. So drawing things like Air Spin is incredibly powerful. And maintaining full synchro as much as possible between all of these fights. And there's our Slip Run.
Yeah, it looks normal.
It's so efficient. This is fine. A little annoying, but that's not a big deal. Okay. I forgot that he actually cares about holes in the floor. even though he's floating. As you do.
There's holes in the floor. Guess I can't move.
So the sheep tries to hide behind things. Yeah.
It's also a wood virus, so
yeah. And those are electric viruses. And Boomer is a wood chip. Wood beats electricity. Yeah, let's just do this. Cool. Whatever.
easy every time.
So the one small downside to the crosses is that you can't be in full synchro while using a cross. You can be in full synchro while using the Beast Out. So if we have full synchro, we're going to try and stay using only Beast Out or no transformations at all, just to maintain it as long as possible. And
they changed the names of these viruses to SP versions instead of Omegas.
Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna use Hackjack here. I was trying to not have to mess with them. Also, Hackjack's final hit will not actually come out of grass panels. Hackjack will not attack the grass. He won't touch it.
I mean, I don't blame him. Don't touch the grass. You get arrested.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I would be able to kill the bee, but I needed an attack plus 10. That's fine. This fight's very funny also. These two planes are gonna fly at me. Just through the fire. Yeah, let's do this. There is a small divide in routes between who takes Hackjack and who takes a different chip called Element Trap. Hackjack is a fan favorite. And then this is the final gauntlet fight. This is 10 fights in a row. God.
That is definitely a draw.
It is a draw. But I have full synchro, and that's all that matters. Just get better draws. See?
Yeah, like this one.
Ah. And okay. Quakers. We're just gonna say no to this virus. The Quaker viruses will stop you from moving for a small second there when they land on the ground, just from the quake effect. Boomer? Alright. The power of Hackjack especially is this right here. He is a null element chip. So I can just charge him instead of actually using him. Okay. Also, copy damage. The stone.
Yeah, it copies the weakness, which is very good.
The stone elements don't really care. Yep. There's my boomer draw. Unfortunately, the Dolphiners continuously heal.
Fine though.
Yeah. Just had to get another chip.
That is not a good draw for this encounter.
No. I didn't know that he would go back, but I guess that makes sense. Okay, this, however, is a fine draw. Please go to here. Okay. Works out well enough.
Copy damage is pretty good.
Yep, copy damage is very, very strong. I'm trying to think if there's a way I can actually get full synchro here. There really isn't.
That corn virus deserved it.
Honestly. Worked well enough.
Yeah.
So we're going to be taking a trip here up to the Undernet. So
good old Undernet.
Connected to Sky area is the Undernet.
This is essentially the dark web.
And
where all the evil villains go to.
It's also where this expand memory is. And we're going to put on an HP plus 500 for a total of 1040 max HP on Mega Man. Oh no, that's Mixed Navi. Anyway, Mega Man is now knocked unconscious again. So we need to go a pretty far way. We need to go get Heat Man.
We gotta go to school.
I'm pretty sure casually the developers intended for you to do a Lekman scenario when you get here and use a Lekman for this trip. But getting a Lekman takes so long. It's like, I think it's like 2 minutes faster. Just go back and get Heat Man than it is to ever get a Lekman in the first place. Which is a shame, because a Lekman's power is much better.
Yeah, but then you get that PTSD from a Lekman from being one.
And with Heat Man here, we're going to be trying to not get encounters, but there's not a whole lot we can do about that. Other than just getting lucky.
Yeah, just don't get encounters.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't sneak run here, even if we... I think the sneak run threshold for Sky area is like 640 HP. We do have Black Bomb, though. And Heat Man does fire damage. At the very least. So.
I would hope so.
Very efficient for that exact use case. All right, it's possible to skip the internet encounter here. I'm going to enter this little computer. That resets your step counter. And then hopefully I don't get anything up here. And we're good.
I mean, technically, Heatman shouldn't be getting encounters anyway because he's not really taking a step.
Yeah. You want to tell that to Capcom?
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Let me send out the email.
You need to patch this game. It is notable I am playing on the Game Boy Advance cartridge. This is not the Legacy Collection. This is not Virtual Console or anything of the such. And there is a particular glitch we will be doing that is only possible on original cartridge, because it was patched in Virtual Console and Legacy Collection releases. Most likely due to soft lock risk and it being a very easy thing to perform. But yeah, we need to get into the sky area here. Similarly,
light this sheep on fire.
the sheep and the bee.
Now, was it a bee or a wasp?
I don't know what they're called. They're risky honeys. So since they have honey, they probably have or the chip is risky honey. They probably are bees.
Because if it's a wasp, and honestly, that thing deserves whatever's coming to it.
So all of the appliances here have gone haywire. The shower is going. The AC won't stop blowing freezing cold air. The oven won't stop shooting fire, or the furnace or whatever. And the fan has created a tornado. I saved before this first one specifically because there's a particular virus in this first one. The wind box there is problematic, to say the least. Because it blows you into the starfish's attack, which traps you in the bubbles while the other things can continually hit you. It's not a good time.
What do you mean?
It's one of the riskier fights in the run, if you don't have a way to quickly kill the wind box. But the rest of these appliance fights aren't really that big of a deal.
You ever just fight your appliances?
As you can see, air spin is still very strong.
Does it hit 3 or 4 times?
4.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
50 times 4, I think.
That's very disgusting. I think that would delete like 95% of the viruses of BN2 that are in a Navi.
Unlucky.
Oh god, a terrible draw. Okay though.
Yeah, I'm looking for a black bomb ideally. We're just gonna use the buster. It's fine.
Nope. It's fine. Just hold down the button.
We're just gonna use the buster on Mega Man. And inside of the fan is gonna be 2 airplanes.
Yeah, you remember what happened last time.
These airplanes are a little bit different. The top one will not actually do what I want him to. The top one will always stay up there because he is a level 1 virus. That's fine. But the blue one will just run through the fire and it's fine. Now, the guy that is supposed to like run this place, this is a facility that controls all of the weather, by the way. They just decide what the weather is going to be and then they make it that.
Also, there was a body in there in the lockers.
Yeah, he's the guy that like is supposed to run this place. I'm sure it's not a big deal.
Nah, everything's fine.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put Mega Man in his copy bot for no reason. I could optionally not skip this cutscene because it is really funny, but I'm still gonna skip it. We're gonna have Mega Man and Lan jump across this gap.
You shouldn't skip it.
Mega Man's gonna jump down. Lan is going to use his umbrella to slowly descend because that's how that works, and Mega Man's gonna catch him when the umbrella breaks.
See, you shouldn't have skipped that. It would have been funny.
And then this is weather control comp. This is the home of really bad weather and typhoons. So I have performed a glitch now with Slip Run off of this Mr. Prog dialogue called Slipwalking. Because the encounter only gets checked at the end of a slip run, slipwalking means that I am never getting encounter checks while that animation is active, which is important for keeping track of our step counts. And I'm lucky. I might be able to leave this comp without ever getting an encounter, but I'm not lucky.
Right as soon as you say that.
Yeah. It's fine. We're prepared for every encounter. And now that we've collected the rainbow macaroni, we're going to use it to destroy this tornado or wind or whatever it is. Okay.
Stop. There we go.
He decided to keep moving. It's fine. It's like, thank you, Typhoon. And then kind of the same idea in the second area here. Collect the rainbow macaroni, use the power of the Skittles to destroy the storms. And there are 3 of these comps, or 3 of these like rooms. So you'd think that we're going to be doing 3 of these puzzles, and you would be wrong. Okay.
What is that drop?
Just your typical.
Heard you like Canon A's.
Yeah, I don't.
Should probably upgrade those.
I'm just gonna use Hack Jack. It's trying to do it without using Hack Jack, but
yeah, we want to avoid using Navi chips just because of how long the animation is.
it's fine. Uh-huh. Typical. There we go. Thank you. Thank you for stopping.
Oh, Mega Man is just pooping out rainbow orbs.
So this is the third puzzle. We're doing the third puzzle as you'd expect by lining up on these stairs in a very particular way and going over to the boss fight.
Does that work because of Slip Run?
Nope.
Oh.
It is a pixel perfect little weird interaction with stairs. And Element Man likes to turn into wood as his second element.
So you, buddy.
Yeah, that trick is called Blackjack Skip. It was found by a runner, a Japanese runner whose name is Blackjack. He is a BN5 runner, but he was doing some BN6 runs, and he pressed up and B to slip on that exact pixel and went into the void to lose his run. Because he just clipped out of bounds and was slipping forward infinitely. So...
You ever just slip out of bounds and just skate away forever?
So this is a bit of a more story segment. We are making a trip to the Undernet. We want this shortcut though, because the next NPC we need to talk to is actually in jail.
Ooh, is it Dad?
You see, there's the Undernet is locked down, and only like the most evil criminals and villains know the passwords to get through the doors of the Undernet into the deeper areas.
So the dog is still there.
Yeah. I mean, we left food for him, so he better be there. That food was $3,000.
Jesus.
So this guy says, they were arrested, they're in prison, and then we go over here, talk to this guy in the green shirt, and he says, oh yeah, they were let go like 5 minutes ago or something. So we're gonna go find them at their job, their place of employment, to find out the password into Undernet 2.
God, please tell me it's the school.
It's in Seaside.
I really need to start background checking these people.
This is.
Oh, you just got out of jail? Here, have a job.
This is one of the most dangerous criminals in the entire world. Very skilled hacker. And now we know the password into the dark web. The deeper parts of the dark web.
She looks like a very hardened criminal.
The password is moneybags.
Fyra 2 vibes.
I don't actually. It's one of the viruses in the Undernet. I don't know why they're called moneybags. I think they're like something hats in English. But they throw like little flashlight bulbs onto your side of the field.
Makes no sense.
So we're going to be making this trip that we will be making quite a bit. Into the Undernet, through Sky Area, through the shortcuts.
I would never suspect the maid cafe ladies.
She is the hardest of hard criminals. But Moneybags opens up this door into Undernet 2. Because we need the Moonstone in order to evolve our Clefairy.
Imagine you're just hanging out in Undernet 2 and you just see like this blue Navi just like speeding through the like the highways.
Don't mind me, Evil Eye. I'm just putting this down here.
Those viruses are absolutely terrifying in BN2 if you get Aqua.
So I'm gonna get a second encounter here. While I walk into the Moonstone. That's fine. S code. Yeah, I pick up the Moonstone, go deliver it. This is the final trial of the Pavilion Navi operator program thing. Talk to these teachers. You can tell they're teachers because they look different than everyone else. And
that guy looks
go
like
to bed.
He's gonna be the villain. That guy looks like he's gonna be the villain of BN7.
His Navi is Erase Man. His Navi is just Shinigami from Death Note. Ripped straight from the manga. And now we're gonna go to AC/DC. And we're gonna go to AC/DC and talk to all of Lan's friends. Because
All of them.
What else would you do?
All of Lan's friends.
Yep. This kid. This kid over here. This old man.
I'm 30 years old. Can you
this
still
lady.
jack into the doghouse there?
I think so. And this girl.
Yeah, it was all of Lan's friends right there.
Yep. And now we're gonna jack into the squirrel.
Excuse me?
And slip straight up here. Mega Man says we can't go in there yet. We have to talk to Roll. And Roll is missing a Mr. Prog. He got lost.
Well,
He somehow got locked on the other side of this wall.
he must not have an R button on this controller. Stupid.
I mean, he's a Prog. He can't jack out. No, I got unlucky.
That to me sounds like a skill issue.
You can get through here with no encounters, but I took it a little risky by not slipwalking earlier. So Dex held the password to that wall, locking off part of the internet. I can't believe Dex would do this.
Dex, the worst kind of villain.
Since I got an encounter, I can probably just do this. Yeah. It's a little bit faster if you already have if you got an encounter earlier to just walk out that way versus jacking out. Go to Roll. And we're gonna talk to this guy. Hello.
Maybe.
Thank you. As you can tell, this is a very intended mechanic with a slip run. We can even enter cutscenes and we still have it. The game is not checking for any encounters right now.
How can it? You're not moving.
Yeah. Anyway, Gutsman, Glide, and Roll were kidnapped. I can't believe this would happen.
Glide, Roll, and who?
I don't know. I don't know his name. Just some random guy. So they're...
It's a shame you don't get to delete his Navi in this game.
They are in Undernet 2. Shocking, I'm sure. Everyone is surprised. Oh, okay. I see how it is, game. Anyway. It's fine. You don't keep full synchro going into boss fights.
Yeah, because I feel that'd be really broken anyway. Here's my boss Navi, and it's gone.
And here's our boss fight for the scenario. It is Blast Man.
Hey, wait a minute.
But it's a little bit different of a map. And he's gonna try and teleport behind this wall constantly.
His one weakness. 3 column damage.
And then this is the second boss fight. It's Dive Man. Where's he going? Oh, okay. Rude. I just need to draw some null element chips, ideally, and not air spin and... Okay. He's having a great time in there.
You ever just swim through the grass?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I am out of beast out time.
Fine though, he's out of HP.
And we have saved all of our friends.
From the evil squirrel of ACDC Town.
Yep. We're gonna go home now. Oh, hey, look, it's all those people. Why is the teacher there?
Spoilers.
Oh no, we need to go to Seaside.
Again.
Mega Man has been hijacked. Somehow. So, Mega Man is no longer with Lan. He's actually inside of a copy bot as his Beast Out form, killing people.
Finally, the plot twist that we've always wanted.
So, we need to go figure out how to save Mega Man. And we got an email from Mr. Mock, our teacher, homeroom teacher. He is in Skytown on this this ledge. So we need to go talk to him. They'll tell us what to do, where Mega Man is, etc., how to save him. And then he will jump off the floating city to the ground below. And we're gonna go back to school.
Why does he jump?
His job is done?
He didn't even do anything. My job here is finished, but you didn't even do anything. All he needs is a tuxedo mask cape.
It turns out he was Blastman's operator this entire time. Who could have ever seen this coming?
The teachers?
Yeah.
Wow, no way.
So we're gonna go. We're gonna
twist.
Go grab Heat Man because we don't have Mega Man. We do have this though. We have a Zippo lighter that can fly.
That somehow accumulates a step counter.
Yeah. So we were told that there's a portal into the deepest, darkest parts of the internet from the middle of Central area. So we're gonna go check it out.
Always the starting area that has like the deep portals to the undernet.
And we're gonna talk to this very official looking Navi that says you can't go in there. You need permission from the principal. Or the mayor. They're the same person.
Why does his mouth move like that?
So we're gonna go to the principal's office / mayor's office. Oh, but it's blocked by a security guard. That's fine. I guess that makes sense. But how do we get the security robots to go literally anywhere? Mick will, I don't know, break something.
8 security bots around this one child.
Including the one that was up here. So we're just gonna go in here. Why is he there? Whatever. Why is Chod here? I don't know.
Who the heck is Chod?
Just some kid with white hair. And now we're gonna go back to the internet with Heatman.
Zippo Man.
And remember earlier in the game when we first got to use Heatman and it was there were some puzzles we had to do? It's been a while, I know.
I don't remember anything.
Well, oh, there's the official Navi from earlier, by the way. He's on the ground. There.
Tired.
I won't skip this one because you can see the great animation of Heatman jumping into the void. It's not even that long.
What an incredible animation.
So yeah, this is Evil Spirits again.
All he did was speed the fall up there and shrink the Navi size.
Evil spirits in this area are actually pretty tight on your weapons. I don't think you can realistically make many, if any, mistakes on some of these. Which casually, that is probably pretty annoying. If you don't just know the solutions. But we're going to be coming up on a fight here against against Mega Man. There has never been a Battle Network game where you fight Mega Man before, I'm sure. I'm gonna ignore.
Twist we've always wanted.
I'm gonna ignore BN4 and 5.
Plot twist we've always wanted.
And
I think when I first played this game, I saw that like dark Navi down there, and I thought that was like Mega Man, and I was like, damn. Time hasn't been kind to you, buddy.
Yeah, there's a... Because of how we move through this and not being able to get encounters during the puzzle itself, we can get through Underground 1 without ever having an issue. No chance of an encounter here. Viruses would be kind of problematic, admittedly.
A little bit.
And Underground 2 is kind of the same idea. Get this guy out of the way real quick. Funny because that's the last ones we handle. Mashing. My sneak run out. Oh no. Whatever will I do?
Should probably fix that. Oh wait, you're out of sneak run.
Yep, I only bought so many.
You should probably go farm some Zinni and get some more.
No, it's fine. Yeah, this is a very long scenario after quite a bit of action, I guess. Just this whole, oh, I need to, Mega Man's gone. Oh no.
Oh no.
Whatever will I do? But we're going to be coming up on our boss fight against G-Beast, which is a pretty difficult boss fight, honestly. And it's not the only boss fight here. It is a back-to-back doubleheader against G-Beast and Colonel. Which, when you played BN5, if you played Team Proto Man, I don't know if this really like makes a whole lot of sense. Because like, who is Colonel?
Yeah, who is Colonel?
I don't know. All right, Mega Man. Nice. Okay. This is interesting. So he's counter hit currently. I'd say this is a pretty decent use of it.
Yeah.
He's gonna use Spark, Zap, whatever. Okay. Maybe he'll come up here again. Come on, Mega Man. Walk up here. Good enough.
But wait, there's more.
There's Colonel. I guess.
But we have Mega Man back, so it's fine.
Yeah.
E-Cross is hilarious. Just does so much damage.
Yeah, so that's Colonel. I was kind of focusing on the movement there a little bit. It's a little tight to keep him in a loop.
Was Colonel.
Oh no, it's Dr. Wily.
Wow. That's the first time you've ever seen him in any Mega Man game.
Yeah. So stuff is going on. We need to go through the undernet. I cannot believe this. And defeat a bunch of viruses. A bunch of evil navis.
Wow. You mean to tell me we have to battle things?
So, in order to do that, we're going to go to AC/DC. And go through the squirrel. This is just to get a shortcut to make the next part a little bit faster.
Love the squirrel in the background of this comp.
I mean, it is the squirrel comp. What else would be in the background?
Nuts.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense.
So I'm gonna move a little bit differently through Undernet 1 because okay.
I was just say that's a pretty bad draw.
I thought he would have swung by then, but he decided not to. Oh well. Let's see what we get. That's fine. Hackjack is it's a pretty good ship. Okay.
It does some damage.
We have full synchro. I'm not too worried about the next fight in that case. I will still save. This is the scariest fight. I keep menuing up twice because I'm used to being one also. So, 2 puffers.
See, this whole fight was fine.
Yeah, nothing ever goes wrong in that fight. Nothing could go wrong in that fight. Definitely never. And then we got this guy here.
Nobody dies to that fight.
No. This fight has a kettle. So ideally...
What we gotta do to that thing.
Alright. Unlike the Heatman kettles, these ones just die to 100 damage. They don't have to be fire elements. Ah. I think this works. So Black Bomb detonates on getting hit by fire or hitting a fire enemy, which isn't always relevant. Anyway, www, I wonder what that means.
The World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Or Wacky Wednesday website.
Yeah. They kidnapped Iris. I don't know why. No one really knows why. But we're done.
Seems important. Seems important.
We're just gonna go about our day. We're back at school.
God, moving to this city seems like it was a bad idea. Like everybody's just evil here.
It is what it is.
Can't even trust your own teacher.
Well, now that this is what's called final day, we need to talk to all of our friends. So we talked to Mick there. We're gonna go down to the school entrance here and talk to Iris. We're very close to her, I'm sure. Known each other for so long. So many interactions.
She had like the most smug face ever.
There's our friend Tab. And now we need to go talk to all of our friends in AC/DC. By going online and talking to them through the internet. Because you're not really expected to travel like across the world to talk to your friends. This is Proto Man. He's just hanging out.
Thanks for the slipwalk, Proto Man.
And then we go and talk to Mail or Roll at her PC. Going over, talk to Gutsman at Dex's PC.
Who?
I don't know who this guy is. And then we're gonna go talk to Glide. This is the only encounter check. Didn't get punished. Glide sometimes just spawns an encounter when you try and talk to him. Really, really rude.
Jerk. You would think with a Navi with the forehead the size of it is, like what it is, you wouldn't see an encounter.
True. Also, we need to talk to Mom before leaving the house this time. Always tell your mom when you're leaving, except all of the other times that you leave. We're gonna go into the pavilion and get all of the stamps. All 3 stamps. And we'll be entering the final area shortly. After some cutscenes. Mail and Iris hanging out, and Yai's by herself. I don't even think you say anything to Yai. No, you never talk to Yai, Mail, or Roll.
Nobody ever does.
And now for the boss rush, effectively.
It's a Battle Network staple.
Refight all of the bosses, except you already fought Blastman and Diveman, so you don't have to fight them again. So just refighting everyone else.
Not only is Chad a professional net battler that somehow made his way over to this town, he also beats up, robots for a living.
Yeah. This is also the secret door. This book is a different color opens the sliding bookshelf on the other side of the room.
You mean to tell me that the principal was in it with the World 3 the whole time?
Oh no. Hey, look where we are.
Wow, hey, I recognize this place.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't want to remember this place either.
So we're gonna run over between.
Hopefully Dex. You're running over Dex.
We don't have to talk to this prog over here. To like, we already know what's all going on. And he has a lot of dialogue. Especially if you miss the slip walk and have to talk to him a second time. There we go. But we're going to try and make it through here without touching any walls. Hitting a wall would cancel slip walk, and then we'd have more chances for encounters.
Yeah, you also don't want to bonk a prog either.
Yep. For similar reasons. We would like to stay in slip walk as long as possible. Okay.
JK.
I should be able to set it up again. Okay. Now we should only have one encounter check at the very end.
Just don't get the encounter.
Yeah. It's possible. You also can't get encounters while the sharks are active anyway, so. Hey buddy, you wanna move a little bit faster?
No.
So we get an encounter check here on the final little computer. Yeah.
Scammed, honestly.
It happens often.
Okay, you got Hackjack, it's fine.
Who needs Hackjack?
That Metar. Directly to the forehead.
So we solve or fix the computer, and now we can cross these fish into the shark's mouth.
Okay, so Land can fix that computer, but he can't fix the bugs he put in on Mech. Why is that tree crying?
Because the pollution. The tree is sad because everything is being polluted by factories in the system.
Captain Planet scenario.
So we're just gonna make our way through Pavilion 2 here. Very likely to get one encounter, potentially two. That corn cob is very angry. That was a pretty late encounter, so I might not get another one. It'd be kind of nice. And we have a boss fight.
Oh.
Last possible spot to get it. Now imagine if I could carry full synchro into the fight.
It's just Judge Man, though.
Ooh.
You know what's gonna happen in Judge Man.
I got a boomer draw.
Yep, we know what's gonna happen in Judge Man.
Why? Okay. Where's the books? There's the books. Normally he doesn't wait that long before spawning books. Oh well.
That's what's gonna happen to Judge Man.
And now we're gonna go into the next scenario. or the next little computer here. It's just like before. We need to get the rainbow macaroni, use the power of the rainbow Skittles to stop the weather. This comp in particular does have possible encounters with shadow viruses. There aren't very many, but it can happen.
So I say, please don't jinx yourself.
And on English, the US release, you have a higher chance of encounters with shadows in this comp than you do on Japanese. I believe it's like 40-something% instead of like 13.
Alright, time to poop rainbow orbs.
All over these storms. Okay. Okay, since I already had an encounter, I should be able to just do this. And it's Element Man. I can't believe this has happened. What a hand.
It won't even matter.
Oh no, I stopped his transformation. He'll just do it again anyway. No. Oh well.
Alex, slow down the fight.
Darn it, Element Man. Oh well. He took an extra hit.
Oh no. Lucky.
And now the final scenario in the robo control kind of area with evil spirits. This is a a mess of different things being mixed together.
Yeah, this time the flames do a lot more damage to you.
A little bit.
Whereas in the Blast Man scenario, they do 10. They're doing 100 to you.
But it's fine. Damage isn't really that big of an issue. Okay. I definitely felt like I was going to get punished at some point for that. Oh well. 2 more little fights to do here. And I will save it the third one because the third one's a little scary. Thank you, Mega Man, for not stepping up. The third encounter here has a mech assassin virus. It's the only time during the story where you actually see them. But they are pretty strong. They will try and stun you and then double hit you with their blades. Okay. Let's do that.
Easy, every time.
And now for the final boss fight. Circus Man.
can't believe this clown was the final boss. No, I'm kidding.
No good chips, but that's fine.
What do you mean? You have a heat cross or fire cross or whatever it is.
No one dies to Circus Man. For the sake of it, just in case, I'll save. This is Gregar, as we are playing Psybeast Gregar version of Battle Network 6.
This is also the final fight.
Final fight. So we'll be ending very shortly here. It's a little involved. There's a little bit going on in this fight. That's fine. I just want to empty my hand of any chips that are not null element chips. And then take some damage here. The fire attacks will double hit Gregar while he is... because his head and body both have a hitbox and they both take damage from the fire hits. This is Beast Out, which does significantly more damage. As you can see, I think it's what, 400 per hit.
Yep.
That's unfortunate. I don't have enough chips to take. Claw swipes. And on final hit here will be time. I just need to hit one more of these fire breaths. There we go. And that's Battle Network 6. And Gregar has been defeated. So, I hope you all enjoyed some Mega Man Battle Network 6. And stick around because we have Battle Network 2 also very shortly. Anything you want to say, Ice, before you switch over?
No, we can talk about that when we swap over.
All right. We'll be back shortly.